shades.
And then you asked me if I would come along. I just can't seem to believe in.
Welcome to Road Notes.
I'm Mark.
I'm Leslie. So we're going to give you a review of our maiden voyage with Onyx. So we're going to give you a review of our maiden voyage with Onyx. We stayed at Thousand Trails Orlando. I guess they call it Orlando RV Resort, but it's really in Claremont. And we were there for 2 weeks, 14 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Honestly, it's a great place. We're lucky because it happens to also be in the town we live in, which makes it very convenient for right now with both of us working. But for people coming from out of state, it's really actually a very nice Thousand Trails location. Has 187 sites that are getting ready to open up, and Mark he took video of the new area. But what people don't know is there's a whole area like on the back of the property that they're clearing, and we're wondering if that's actually going to be part of their expansion
yeah.
or if they're building something else back there. So it was very nice. It's changed a bit since the last time we were there. Gosh, was it almost 6 years? Was 6 years ago?
Yeah, and last time we were there, you were actually checked in at that front office /
Yes.
clubhouse. So now when you arrive at TT Orlando, is you just go pull straight up to the gate, and they have what they call rangers at the gate checking your
Yeah.
reservations and letting you through. And since Thousand Trails is sort of like a first come first serve campground, so it's not assigned sites, it really helps a lot to if you tow your car, just undo your car, and what Leslie did, and drive around in your car and pick your site.
Yeah.
Rather than driving around with your RV or your fifth wheel or pulling your trailer in there, because some of these roads are narrow.
Yeah. And they're
there's-
one way.
And there's a lot of one way. So the
Yeah.
only downside to the road conditions are that they're a little bit older, and a lot of the street markings you can't really see anymore. So there are like arrows on the road, but they're hard to spot when you get there for the first time. It took us 2-3 days to really figure out, oh, this was a one-way street, and we drove right through it. So
Yeah.
that's something to be aware of, but definitely drive your car through, pick the spot you want. Well, what we did is Leslie came in early.
Well, I was only a few minutes ahead of you, but enough. They let me in. They're really not supposed to, and they let me in out of being kind. And I went and I found the spot, and I just parked my car in it and sat there and guided him to the space that I was at.
And then we just called each other, and she told me where to go and how to get to where she was.
The site we were in was A39, which is kind of along the perimeter. Obviously it's in section A, but it's in an area that backs up to like a preserve land, so you don't have a back neighbor. And the sites are actually a little bit larger along that back road. Now, the one problem with the campground that I would say would be the Wi-Fi situation, but that's not a unique situation to Thousand Trails.
No.
And in fact, when you look at the map, they will tell you that there's one whole section that's down by the lake, which is further back than what we were, that actually said no Wi-Fi available. So you need to prepare to not have great Wi-Fi. And what we saw was a lot of people that had extenders and different kinds of antennas and things way up high off the back of their roofs.
Yeah, I would say if you're counting on Wi-Fi, even though they say they have it, don't count on it. I mean, the Wi-Fi was non-existent.
Which
when we were there. So.
I understand is pretty consistent with a lot of the RV parks, but because the Thousand Trails is so spread out, I did see some people who didn't have those devices that were closer to some of the larger antennas and poles that they had around the facility. When it comes to amenities, they had quite a bit. Now, there was some construction going on, and they're building a second pool. So the second pool area is closed off right now, which is right next to the first pool. But they do have like pickleball, tennis. They have shuffleboard and horseshoes, and they have a miniature golf course and basketball. You know, you name it, they have it. But the only downside is obviously with COVID, the property managers won't lend out the equipment. So you have to have your own. So if there's something in particular that you really like to do, be sure to bring your own equipment right now, because they said for the foreseeable future, they won't be able to lend out equipment. They also have duck pin bowling there, which is what we wanted to do, but we weren't allowed to check anything out. So we brought our own golf clubs and we played mini golf. Plenty of places to walk, plenty of places to ride. The nice thing is from someone who's local, I could tell you that the area that the campground is in is becoming more and more populated by the week. But there's sidewalks. So we have electric bikes, and we could take the bikes as far as the eye could see. You can ride the bike all the way down to Walmart, to Lowe's, Chipotle. They have numerous restaurants, and on the north end of the campground, less than a half a mile, is a Publix shopping center. So everything is very accessible. There's a gas station diagonal to the campground. So don't worry about feeling like you're out in the wild at this campground, because you're not. You're actually right in the center of things. And I think that's part of the reason why it's such a popular campground.
Yeah, plus you're close to Disney.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not far at all from the main strip that goes between, the 192 strip that goes between Disney and Claremont. So, what do you think for disadvantages? Do you have any disadvantages of it?
Not disadvantages. One thing I wanted to add to it is that, you know, there are bathhouses scattered around the property.
Right.
We saw 2 or 3 maybe laundry facilities, and when I walked in, it seemed to be, we didn't use them, but they looked clean.
Yeah.
And I think overall, the entire property was well managed. I mean, I felt clean. They have cottages too that you can rent if you don't want to bring an RV or don't have one. But again, due to COVID right now, it seemed like they were shut down.
Yeah, there was not one that was...
Yeah, I don't think they'll rent them out at the moment.
Yeah. They do have a boat launch for like kayaks and canoes and things.
Oh, that's right.
Not commercial boating, but for kayaks and canoes and things like that.
Yeah, little beach and stuff.
Yeah, they had a little beach and everything, and a dog park.
Dog park, very dog friendly. Yeah, and as Leslie said, you can walk for miles. I like to run, so I typically check out these campgrounds that we stay at in terms of running, and I always try to stay on the perimeter side of the campground. And at TT Orlando was 2.8 miles just of roadways on the perimeter to run. So you can get your 5K in there pretty easily. And yeah, you can ride around a lot. In terms of disadvantages, I mean, road conditions were a little
road conditions are a little
iffy.
sketchy in places. And there are speed bumps in a few of the areas that I thought there was like one that's down low. There's a speed bump at the bottom of a small hill, and it almost looks like a couple people coming through were dragging, getting over the bump. But other than that, I
mean, the campsites too. There's I think quite a few sites. I mean, you don't expect to be level on them. We had we had a little bit of a hard time getting our rig level at the site we were on, and it was by far not the worst site that I've seen. I mean, some have deep potholes. So you do have to be aware of that a little bit. But other than that, once we got it leveled and situated, it was a great place to be, great place to stay. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we very much enjoyed it. And so I guess the long and short of it is that we will definitely be going back. We're going to try to go back as soon as we're able to get back in with season coming. You know, it's an iffy prospect, but we're going to go back as soon as we're able to do so. And we're going to bring you along with us, and we'll show you the new section once it's open and we're there, and now we're going on to the next stop.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones.
No, you don't know where they're going. So if you like this video, smash that like button, press the like button, that would help us tremendously. If you want to leave us a comment, you can do that as well down below. If you're new to our channel, subscribe, or at least consider subscribing. And you can find us on all the usual social media outlets like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but also on our village, ourvillage.com. And that's it from us, right?
That's it. So we're going to keep you in the loop with the moving process, which is in full swing. And we're on to the next campsite, and we're going to give you a full update.
Great.
See ya.
Bye.
I don't want my feet in it. Cause my,
Then you sit however you need to sit.
tell you what, hold on. Before you go.
Right.
Intro. Okay. Hit it.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Road Notes.
I'm Mark.
I'm Leslie.
This time we want to... No.
We're coming to you live from
Yeah.
Onyx.